In this video, we will talk about CVs for data analysts, data scientists, data engineers. We will talk about common mistakes and how to improve it. Several weeks ago, I asked you to share your CVs with me so I can use it for my video. I will give several general advices that are applicable for everyone, and then we will look at several CVs in more details. If you're new to this channel, I'm Karina. I have transformed my career from finance to data, and now I help others to do the same. The first thing we will talk about is CV structure. There is one specific structure that's used now almost everywhere. The reason being HR and hiring managers now use ATS systems. It is a scanning system. That's why the structure of your CV should be the same. So the best CV structure is you start with your name, then next line you give your personal details. It can be phone number, email address, links to your LinkedIn and portfolio if applicable. It can be some other details. For example, in some countries it is important to indicate your visa status or citizenship. If it is required, mention it there. The next line is a summary, and this summary is very important. In the summary, the first line, you say who you are. For example, I'm a data analyst with 10 years of experience, or I'm a data scientist with 2 years of experience. So who you are, what's your past experience, how many years of experience you have. The next part should be about your technical skills. So you are a data scientist proficient in SQL, Python, Tableau, etc. And the very last sentence is about your soft skills. So you are a great team player, like collaboration, love continuing learning, new technologies, etc. So this brief summary explains to me where you came from, what was your past experience, what are your technical and soft skills are. So the next part after the summary is skills. And this part will vary depending on what job you're applying to. So the best advice I've heard that you need to have one generic CV where you indicate all your skills and it's applicable to most jobs. For example, you're applying for data analyst roles, so that generic template will tackle most of them. And then, depending on the company you're applying to, you make changes to your CV. You still need to make some tweaks every time before you send your CV. For example, you are data analyst in the marketing department. In that case, you need to make changes to highlight the skills about marketing. So if you ever worked with the marketing data, or if you're applying for data analyst in finance department, then again you need to highlight that you know what financial statements are, you worked with financial metrics, you looked at revenue, return on investment, etc. So you have one generic CV, and every time before applying to your role you will make some changes. Now let's talk about a skills section. In skills section you indicate all your technical skills, what systems you worked with, what programming languages you know, and then depending on the company you're applying to, depending on the role, you can make some changes to this section. So if the company asks for R, you can put R first and then say Python the rest. So it's not about making stuff up, it's about just making it more obvious that you can tick all the boxes that the system or HR manager can reconcile the job description to your CV. After the skills section, we go into our work experience. If you worked before, we talk about that. If you had internship, we talk about that. If you are just starting, then you are talking about the projects you've done. After the project, the next section is your education, and after education, certificates, and the last one is additional section. For example, if you've done any publications or you speak various languages, sometimes people indicate that too. There is no need anymore to indicate your hobbies because now we need to make our CVs shorter. So it is recommended to keep it as one page. I must admit I can't keep my CV as one page, it is 2.5, and if you still have some white space in your CV, put more text in your projects, more details about your work experience instead. After reviewing 35 CVs that I received from you, these are my general advice. First of all, at the top you need to give the links to your LinkedIn and your portfolio, and those links should be clickable. The next one is your CV must be in PDF format. Most of the jobs, 95% of the time, all CVs should be in PDF format because it is the easiest way for HR to work with. Sometimes some jobs require you to send it in Word format. In that case, they actually indicate it. So when you read the job description, when you read the ad, see if it says please send CV as Word. And why are they doing it? Because they remove your top part where you say your details, your name. They replace it with their own recruitment agency details, and call you, for example, candidate 2, and then send it to the company because they don't want the company reach out to you directly. So this happens sometimes, but most of the time you don't need it. You just need PDF format. I got one of your CVs in TXT and it was impossible to read, so please make sure that at the end you always save your file as PDF. Also, name your CV as CV and your name, or just name, maybe date as well, but it must be descriptive, so if you use some word that makes no sense, it might get lost. So it's just easier for HR later, if they look at their folder, to find your CV based on your name. So help HR to find you. Another thing I've noticed from your CVs, a lot of people who are just starting prefer to call themselves as aspiring data scientist or a fresher or enthusiast. So today is the day when I allow you to finally remove this word and call yourself junior, because you already have done projects, you have some technical skills, so you are just a junior data analyst, junior data scientist. You're not aspiring, you're not a fresher, you're not enthusiast. Call yourself a junior data person. Another thing that really surprised me is school education. If you already have bachelor or master's, it is obvious that you graduated from school before. Please remove your school education. Again, it occupies the space, and we are trying to make our CV optimized and smaller. And the next one is, please don't use generic high-level descriptions, but we will talk about it in more details. And by generic high-level descriptions, I mean I did data analysis with Python. Anyone who did some data analysis with Python can say it. How are you better compared to the other candidates? So you need to highlight what exactly you did, why you better, what skills you have. So we will talk about it in the next part. Please leave some comments and like this video, because it triggers algorithm to start pushing it further, and this way I can reach more people and help them with their CVs. Now we will look at some of your CVs and I will give some advice on how we can improve it. Let's look at these ones. First of all, in the first line, you need to give a link to LinkedIn and your portfolio. The next part is professional summary, exactly as we need it, as we spoke about it. Proactive, detail-oriented BTech final year student specializing in AI and machine learning with experience in developing machine learning solutions for healthcare, e-commerce, finance, skilled in Python, machine learning, data visualization, with a proven record, independent project execution. With data visualization in brackets, maybe you can indicate if it's Power BI Tableau or is it data visualization with Python, just details. The next part is skills, great structure so far. So we have in our programming, machine learning, data visualization, okay, Power BI and Excel. I wouldn't say that Excel is a visualization tool. I put it completely separate. And then soft skills. Experience, strengthened organizational skills by completing multiple tasks efficiently and on time. What tasks you completed? What were you working on? You said that you acquired knowledge in deep learning. How? What tools? How did you practice? What have you done? Did you work with any data? How you worked with it? How these can be applied to your future job? And adapted research methods and approaches. Which methods? How did you adapt them? What have you done? So each of your job descriptions should explain what you did, how you did it, and what you have achieved. So it is very transferable. It's obvious how with this knowledge you can help me as your employers. How can you apply what you've done? Next section is education. I already said that education should go at the end. I understand that a lot of you are still studying, and that's why you probably have education at the top. For example, here we have a public school. No need to indicate your school, no need even to indicate your college, because obviously you've done that to finally get to your bachelor's degree, so bachelor degree is enough. And then certifications, good certifications, please put them after the education at the bottom of your CV. And let's look at projects. Mini GPT, sentiment analysis, image classification, estimated time of arrival. You need to change the names of your projects to be more descriptive. Mini GPT, for what? For what company? What was the use case? Why you've done it? You've done it just because you're curious, or you can help a business somehow. Build a LLM to generate solutions for various prompts, showcasing deep learning application. Which prompts? For what? Is it for content creation? Is it for sports? What are the prompts or general prompts? How you've done it? What have you used? What tool? and what is a quantifiable achievement if you can show. It is when you say, I worked in the company and we increased 7% in revenue. I know that not all projects can add it. In that case, think of businesses. All the businesses care about several things. They want to either increase revenue, decrease costs, or save time. So you need to say that by introducing this efficiency, you are able to reduce wait time. Your projects, in ideal world, they need to be linked to these initiatives, because in a work setting, all the projects you do, they are linked to cost centers, they are linked to revenue. Non-for-profits are different, so if you work for charity or university, it's a different story. Businesses care about share price, they care about revenue, bottom line, income. Next project, sentiment analysis, developed transformed-based model to analyze sentiment analysis, useful for scalable customer insights. In which industry, what sentiment analysis, what have you done, what model, what language, what have you achieved. Image classification, design trained deep learning model to classify images. Images of what? Is it a cat, a dog? Is it cars? Is it crops? Where did you get the data? How you used it? And next one, very good structure of your CV. You have summary, skills, professional experience, technical projects, and education. So exactly as we spoke, very good structure. Summary, expert software engineer with a master's degree in artificial intelligence and data science and a proven background in creating impactful machine learning models and algorithms, experienced in collaborating with cross-functional teams and a track record of increasing team efficiency, improving customer experience through implementation of effective systems, adept in technical recruiting and managing complicated projects. How interesting. I see you saying algorithm, machine learning. Add a bit more about technical skills, just maybe what systems you use, what programming languages you use. Very good soft skills, so highly recommend everyone who is watching to think about adding soft skills like this, where it's collaborating with cross-functional teams. Perfect. It shows me you are a good team player and you can work on your own and also as a part of a team. Very good. Skills, qualification, Python, ML, deep learning, data science. I'm sure you know not only Python, I'm sure you probably worked with AWS or Azure, like where did you develop your models, so add those, because at the moment we have Python, the language we know, and the rest sounds a bit generic, like NLP, ML, AI. It sounds like hashtags in social media. Just a bit more details if you can, so you can reference to specific brands. And why you need to do so? Because when an HR person matching your CV to the job description and they're like Oracle, SAP, and they try to match by keywords. Let's look at professional experience. Data science intern, Python, machine learning, data analysis. I like that you indicated already skills you used. Consolidated, purified data from various sources, web scraping, databases, API, amazing. By the way, so add APIs in your skills and qualifications. Device, custom predictive models, and ML algorithms. If you can indicate exactly what were models for, what industry, what data set you worked with, because at the moment it is high level. You can say that about every single model. It is ML algorithm and you optimize feature engineering and hyperparameter tuning. Innovate that improved data processing methods to ensure accuracy. Give more details. If you can say improved accuracy from 70 to 80, those numbers, they always stand out in your resume. So I would suggest to add that. The next experience, you worked as an analyst. Good. Implemented a comprehensive ticketing system resulting in 75% increase in ticket resolution. Perfect. You see here you gave the number of increase in ticket resolution. Please do the same with your data science internship. If you can, detected recurring technical issues, work closely with teams. Really like your structure, because every time you have more technical what you've done and then you end with soft skills like worked closely with teams. Very good. I hope all of you making notes, because this is a very good CV. The next CV we'll look at, I was very impressed and confused at the same time. I think we need to look at it in more details. First of all, technical skills, perfect technical skills. For everyone, that's the way to do it. So languages, data analysis, which visualization tools, machine learning, web development. Very good bullet points, bucketed together. Next part is experience. You had experience at EY as a data analyst intern. Amazing internship. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people who are watching this video would love to have the same. Let's read what you've done. Analyze data from over 100 unicorn startups in the last 50 years using Power BI and DAX operation, delivering more than 10 insightful visualization and dashboards that inform strategic decisions for key stakeholders. Is it 10 insightful visualizations per dashboard or 10 visualizations overall? A bit confused. Was it one dashboard? Was it several dashboards? I like that you said that you analyzed data, where you got it from. I like that you indicated last 50 years. That's good. But what confuses me that you had internship from February to April. Let's say it's 3 months, and in 3 months you just made 10 visualizations. It's amazing experience, but for some reason it's not sold to me. And let's have a look at the next experience is JP Morgan. Again, I would have killed for this experience. So JP Morgan and EY, amazing. And again, data analyst intern from July to February. So that's what, 7 months? So in 7 months you achieved a lot, right? In 7 months you can work on 7 projects at least, or even more. You can do so much. But if we read role involved, analyze financial data of loan applicants from the US, I like that you indicate what data, that's very good. By performing data cleaning, EDA, creating over 8 visualizations and 3 reports. So in 7 months, you created 8 visualizations. It's a great experience, but for some reason it doesn't feel like enough. You know, when people do free courses on Udemy, they also create 8 visualizations and 3 reports. So surely you've got so much more from experience in those companies. And it's just about phrasing it. Provided presentation for decision making to who? Who is the decision maker? Did you work on your own as a part of a team? Indicate what visualizations you did and why you did them. Was it a line chart to show some trends? Was it bar charts for comparison? Did you use pie charts? And let's look at personal projects. Great projects, amazing projects. Really like your CV. My personal thought that you undersell yourself in experience section, so you need to squeeze it more. Let's have a look at another CV. Aspiring data analyst with background in mathematics and statistics, eager to utilize my analytical skills and technical knowledge to drive data-driven decisions making at our corp. What is our corp? I would change objective to summary, as I mentioned before, where you say who you are, but also add details about your technical and soft skills. Project, Amazon sales analysis project, not bad project itself, unfortunately very common. Even though a good project, you might think about using a different data set, but achieving the same. Also sales analysis project, but not for Amazon. But you can come up with some different company. It can be even Adidas or Nike. You can find a different data set at kaggle.com or machine learning repository, or even ask ChatGPT to create for you a data set. So you can upload this Amazon data set and say, with the same columns, create me a new data set, make some missing values, make it unbalanced data, make it very realistic so I can practice my data analytics skills, and trust me, ChatGPT can do it for you. So Amazon project analyzed Amazon sales data using Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI. How big was the data? If you can say 5 million rows or smaller. Also, if it's possible, what period? So for projects, it's important to say for the years 2000 to 2023, or was it only yearly data or monthly data? Identified key trends and patterns, like which key trends and patterns? Sales patterns, seasonality, leading to 15 increase in targeted marketing. I like that you indicated quantifiable effort, 15% increase. Next project, customer churn analysis project. We've done it with you on this channel. You can have a look at that. Analyzed customer data. What customer? Was it a bank customer? Was it e-commerce company? Customer data for what years? Where you got this data from? Identified key factors contributing to customer churn. Develop predictive model with 85% accuracy. Good. Created visualization and reports in Python or with something else. Which tool did you use for that? With portfolio projects, we always need to explain why we did it, what was the purpose, because when you start projects, you usually have a final purpose. So imagine C4 identified that customers are leaving. We are losing revenue We are losing our customers. It's always very expensive to acquire new customers compared to retain old ones. So C4 is panicking. He comes to data team and he says, we need to do something. Data person like, we need to have a look at churn. What if we start predicting who might churn? We will use this knowledge to stop these people from churning. When you describe your project, imagine you are talking to your C4. You say, we identified that customers leaving. We decided to create this model. So I took all the data for the last 15 years, 1 month, how much data you have. From where did you get this data from? From SQL, from internal database. I overlaid it with external data. I used Python, and then I identified key factors like what. Then we developed model, we achieved this huge accuracy, we provided this data to the team, they did all their efforts, marketing, whatever, and as a result, in several months, because it will not happen tomorrow, in 4 months, we achieved reduction in churn by 10%. And next one, about me section, or it can be summary, whatever you would like to call it. Data science professional with over 1 year of experience, leveraging Excel, Python to solve business problems. What's confusing to me, because you said you're data scientist, but you have experience in data analysis with Excel. To indicate that you're data scientist, you need to say that you worked on predictive modeling, on machine learning models, or you can say you are data scientist and data analyst with over 1 year of experience. Work experience, data analyst intern, clean process, large data set. If you can indicate how big the data sets were, it would be great. Using advanced string manipulation techniques, improve data quality for analysis. Also, what tools you use. Did you use Excel? Did you use Python? Applied name entity recognition to extract, classify entities, where, how, what tools. Develop time series models to forecast trends, providing actionable insights. What insights? What models? Created flexible solution to standardize various time period formats. What solution? Give us more tea. Give us more details. Next one, risk investigation specialist, Amazon India. So you worked for Amazon. That's very cool. Analyzed over 2,200 transactions monthly. You see here, you indicating how many transactions you've done. And for some reason, for data analyst intern, you're like, I'm not saying how many data I looked at. Projects, insurance charges prediction project, a good naming. Also, you indicating that you deployed in AWS and you used a Flask API, but then I don't see none of them in your technical skills, neither AWS or Flask. Heart disease prediction project. This is the third part, because I looked at 35 CVs and I've seen this project, let's say, 10 times. 1/3 of your CVs have the project. And imagine on a bigger scale when you have 700 candidates applying for a job and everyone done this heart disease prediction project. Unfortunately, it's incredibly commonly used a project. Use all the knowledge you got here, find a new data set on Kaggle, yes, or ML repository or anywhere else, and work on a different prediction project. Process health lifestyle data through comprehensive cleaning analysis, conducted feature engineering. You can say this about every single project. So you can see that at the moment, both of your projects, they look almost exactly the same. The only difference, that first one was handle health, demographic and lifestyle data. Second time you processed health and lifestyle, so no demographic data. The rest of it is very, very similar. Again, random forest classifier, XGBoost, which nothing wrong with that, but you can see description of project is almost like it's the same project. I would recommend you to add one more project that is different to insurance and heart disease. So different prediction, pricing, something else, sentiment analysis, something that's different to these two projects. That was a new format for me, also a new location. I am filming it today in the kitchen. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you're interested in part 2, part 3. Maybe we look also again at your portfolios and I give more tips about that. I hope you've learned some tips that you can immediately apply to your CV and it will help you to land your dream job.